way there. Hang out with me for a moment. I need to take a peek at a few things. Looks like it might be. Not sure if that's the right pieces or not. Let's take a look. I'm trying to find a good picture of the body here. Hopefully with the aggressive wing on it. So I'm just shooting through here. I've got a pretty good picture. I don't know if that's the one or not. It could be. Let me, yeah. Open. Alright. Inspect. Cast. Well, I was hoping just to get a picture of it. Can I do this? Okay, here we go. Open image, a new tab. There we go. Now I've got that one. That looks to be the right wing. This is the aggressive wing, so I'm not sure or for sure. Yeah, drag race bodies. Let's see. Just go to see if he's got maybe pics of the wings. Pardon me, in here. There's a bunch of different ones. Most of them do look to be pretty straightforward. That kind of looks like the aggressive wing on the Toyota body. Take a look. It doesn't have any great body mining test, but nothing really on the wings. So let me take a look. Scroll up to see another pic here. He had, looks like he had a more aggressive wing on it besides the Scarecrow. I guess that's it. So it looks like it's got it. So I guess we'll take a look here. I can pop out some pictures and maybe ask him for a couple pics. Go on Facebook and ask for a couple pics of people's Scarecrow or aggressive wing setups. But let's see what we got here. Pulling off all my cover. So I want to take a peek. Okay, so that's one side. This must be the other. Pop this picture up real quick. I'll have to figure out the shearing stuff here and get it on up. Got two here. Fairly thick, but still flexible. Okay, so these are almost, yep, let's go down the sides. They got it, and you must basically hook right to the back almost, it looks like. And then they've got this like this. It doesn't really show where. Doesn't have a hole here, so I guess you can kind of set it in your own spot. Let's see, this hooks across the back. It's showing one side. That must go across the back on the bottom. Maybe it must kind of mount like this, I guess. That would be about right. Kind of put it up in there. Of course, that's not quite bent all the way, but the way it's looking is this goes here, this goes here. Of course, this goes up in there. Oh, yeah, I see. This is for sliding. Got it. I see, said the blind man to the deaf mute. Alright, so these will mount on the side of the body. This mounts in between them. Looking at the picture here, I don't think I can. It's got a. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, big one, too. Nice. It's real big. Right where I need to look, too. Okay, so it's going down the side. Yeah, it got those. This piece is setting right. Now, get the right way. It's going to be running down the side like that. This is going to be sitting like this. I see. That's why that's kind of like that. You mount it too, and then that gives you your whole base. Got it. So pretty much, you get these things lined up. Yeah. Okay. So you put your pieces on your side. Flip back over the camera piece. This piece mounts across the trunk lid. This is bent so it's flat, and that gives you a kick up, and that's where these will mount to, and they'll put a little stress in there, I'm sure. Tighten it up, tighten or strengthen it up a tad. Those look like they need to fold just a little bit more, maybe, but they got them at an angle. But all right, let me see if they've got these are more straight or more angled. Well, those are more straight, so that's coming up off the back. Okay. That'll come up off the back. So, slide these over here for a sec. And these are all nylon screws. Yeah, I picked up the nylon screw kit, so it'd be nice and lightweight to put together. Okay. So, okay. And yep, they've got that. Okay, they've got that actually down here a little ways. Of course, I didn't go on the top with my body mounts. It's pretty much hanging right over. I've got it right on the edge there. So it's just coming up a little bit. So if that's sitting like this, is that sitting like this? No, it can't be sitting like that. No, it's folded out. It's got to. I can see their corner is much tighter than that is. These do need to be heated and bent a little more, I think, to give them get that mounted first. That will force me to line up my side pieces. If I want to mount that a little low, because this piece needs to go on top of it. I want that right across the top.
Are you making video?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm slamming a video together here. So if I do it that way, that's where those, mark that spot for those 3 holes. I think that's what you should start out with first, what I should start out with first anyways. So let me see, because that would work out pretty good like that. Move it down just a little bit. So there's any lip there, but just a small transition falling off. They've got a little center dimple right there too. That's kind of nice. Kind of line up with that a little bit. That does feel pretty good. Got a center dimple right there too. Just in the back window. Sweet. Helps keep things lined up. So yeah, I think if I do that there. See how we feel here. It's pretty darn good. Okay. 3 little spots to mount. These are some fairly small screws and nuts. Hey, how you doing? Eric, I think, right? You'll have to forgive me. I'm bad with names sometimes at first. Doing all right. Yeah, these are nice, man. I like, when I seen this body, it was like, damn, that looks good. Now that I've got it in hand, I look at it, I can see where there could be, after looking at the scale body 1-to-1s and, looking at them a little bit better and closer, I can see where there are a few things that could be, tweaked, like the back. If you look at the real one, it's longer and comes out to a little bit more of a point back here. I think they could have went another inch and a quarter on the length of the rear body. That would have gave them the length to open up the wheel well a little bit more, and it really would have been knocked out of the park. But I understand that concept of getting sued by GM, and they probably didn't want to, so I had to make some changes. But yeah, it's a sweet looking body. I can't wait to put it together. Get it painted. Actually, I've pretty much got a theme. Obviously, I'm going to be doing some red in this build, but yeah, it's a nice looking body. And then I picked up, yeah, they did a great job for being non-licensed. Like I said, I think that they didn't want to get sued, so I guess I don't blame them. This is where I'm a little, I'll say it here on Cam, I'm a little concerned for Justin because he did such a killer job with the Vagabody. I'm wondering if he might have some problems because that Vagabody looks outstanding. and I'm waiting on one of those to come in. I may even order another one or two just because they are bad looking, but I gotta wait for them to get them in stock. All right, is this gonna be too big? I should double check that first, and that's why I pulled this thing out really. It's just big enough. Any bigger would be too big. So, yeah, I'll just use a reamer because that's a small hole. But yeah, they did a sweet job with it. I say the only thing I would do a little bit differently, it is probably another $1,000 for a mold for that extra 1.25 inches, maybe 1,500. Molds aren't cheap. And that would have just thrown it right over the top as far as looks. I'm just going to put a dent mark here because body reamers can be a pain sometimes. Get in too much and now your hole's too big, and I almost did that with the rear mounting holes here. But I figured it's time to get this wing mounted and put in place. Yeah, it's getting close. I got word last night from Amy, I'm sorry, not last night, the night before, that my Revolution Design slipper clutches are back in stock and shipping. I've had them on order for over a month. Actually, I had to just reapply the order because it was going to be canceled in another couple days if I didn't do that. But they came into stock and got notification that they shipped out. So yeah, that's nice. So the VTSs will be here for all 3 rigs. I did pick up a stock AE clutch slipper setup, but I'll be using that now that the VTSs are on the way. I'll put that on the scale rig that I'm putting together. I do like this driver. What I did for a drill bit in it is I just took a countersink bit set for countersinking holes for your countersunk heads, and bought different sizes and used those for most of my holes and centering. Looks right now. You just don't want to go too deep or you're going to start digging a countersunk hole. Which sometimes in plastic and your carbon fiber actually works if you're like doing something on the bottom. You want a little countersunk hole for your countersunk bolts to bolt in, then that works great. No, Revolution Designs, Associated based, yes, but it's from Revolution Designs. And I don't know, RD actually may be a version of Team Associated, which I'm thinking it might be actually. So almost got it. So yeah, I don't know for sure. So our Revolution Designs may be Team Associated. But they make a lot of different stuff. But now I'm thinking about it because I haven't really looked, and I've never really been a Team Associated guy, so I'm not super familiar with the rigs. That very well may be the case. That may be like the factory team for Losi. Revolution Designs may be the Team Associated version. I'm thinking. So yeah, you may be correct on that, Eric. All right, so yeah, those do take the top associated engineering shaft, so you could use the DR10 slipper, which is I got one here, and I don't know what I've got it on. I think I've got it on the 13.5 right now. So yeah, you could use the just plain Team Associated slipper system for the DR10, or the Revolution Designs, which is a 3-slipper system. So if you go that route, the slipper clutch setup from RD is $36, 35 and some change. And then the slipper pads come 2 to a package. You need 3 of them, so you got to buy 2 packages, and they're $9.99 a piece. So pretty much it's a $50 slipper setup. 55 bucks really, but in RD they say they sell a single slipper pad, but I've not found one. Like A-Main, they only sell the A-Main only sells the dual pack for the Revolution Designs setup, the VTS, because they do have a couple different ones of the VTS. And that's good. It's a little bit bigger to get. The screws in there. Good. But yeah, I was looking around. I decided to go with the Revolution Designs. It's a bit of a better unit. Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to throw the Traxxas top shaft right inside that, because the inside of that Team Associated top shaft is set up for the Traxxas trannies. So yeah, you should be able to put your Traxxas top shaft or Robinson Racing Traxxas based top shaft in there and swap it out. I decided to go with this because I've run a lot of Traxxas over the years, and there is some slipper fade that comes with them. As long as they don't get too hot, they stay pretty good. But the minute they start getting too hot, they start really, fading quite heavy. So I decided with this, I wanted to go a little bit better system. And Team Associated setup right out of the box is quite good. From everybody I've talked to who uses it and has runs Team Associated. And then as you're looking, as I was looking through the drag stuff, it was clear those that had these VTS systems were very much, enjoying the rock solid, dependability. Same hit after hit after hit. It didn't fade. It didn't swim. It was a pretty solid unit. My only thoughts about the top shaft setup being a hardened aluminum with a hardened anodizing will it handle that extra beating and torque that some of these motors might be putting down. Of course, as you get to a lower turn, higher RPM motor, you're losing torque, but some of these rotors are kicking off quite a bit of torque in these units now. But I presume they did a lot of testing, and that less rotating mass is going to be a helpful unit. I don't know on the 4x4s. I haven't seen where somebody's taken a Traxxas 4x4 slipper setup and converted it. It seems like you could be able to use it. There might be a little mocking up. I've got my 4x4 and a couple slippers, but I've never actually pulled the two out and actually stuck them next to each other. But I think you could, because I know the slipper setups for the 4x4 are smaller. They're 50, 48, 52, 57 tooth, I think. And for the Bandits and 2-wheel drive setups, they're a bigger system. So it's possibility that it could work. It is a better clutch system, I can give you that. Handles a lot more abuse with the 4x4. So that could be. But the slipper setups, like for the Team Associated stock setup, it was $16 for the end plates. I think $5 for the spring, $5 for the two caps that your spring cap that sits on the nut side. You got your plates, slipper and spur between them. Obviously, your spring goes against your plate, and then you got your little spring cap, and then your nut. So it was, and then your pads were $10 for the pair, and it uses both of them, the octagon pads. So I think that was $30, maybe 35 for the Team Associated slipper setup. I know a lot of people who race buggies and race the Team Associateds do swear by the systems in their buggies and racing on dirt courses. But of course, when you're doing those, you're 5 minutes in, so they're taking some abuse. They're getting hot. Where the Traxxas rigs sometimes start fading, so that's something I can see. These companies, STRC makes one, Top Shaft, for Team Associated too. I can see a lot of Traxxas / two-wheel drive users buying that top shaft and going to a Team Associated clutch in the racing rigs, especially the buggy. It seems like it would last a lot longer. Be more repetitive. Consistent is the word I was looking for. Okay, so that will go there. And now this. Okay, so that goes like that down. So that might need to do too. So let me take a look at this pick. So that looks like it comes off pretty straight. I wonder if they've got a couple different. No, that one's not too bad. It actually hangs out like that. What's up with that though? It seems like if that was the case, these things, that's almost the right bend, but looks like that thing should be upside down, but that's the way it goes. Guess they're just gonna have to heat those up, and those are gonna have to flatten off some. Yeah, I get those flattened out. So on mine, I'm gonna have to heat these corners up here a little bit and get them a little bit flatter on this part here. Other than that, once that's done, I'll be able to get those in place and holes in the proper spot and set and mount it up. Not sure if I'm going to paint the wing though. I might leave it clear. That's how they're showing it in their systems, clear. I do know a lot of people like those hot racing systems in their drag setups. So I don't know if they're using the two-wheel drive hot racing or the four-wheel drive hot racing Traxxas slipper setup though. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try to heat these up gently. Probably crank this thing on and turn it on low. Let it turn on, see if I can kind of get some heat in here and get these things to flatten out without bulking up my middle. But yeah, I like these Progress Concepts trannies, man. They are smooth. After you get, a good. I wasn't fond of the Eco bearing. I bought one of the sets that was the complete tranny from Hot Racing, less your diff setup, and they had the Eco steel bearings, and they were okay. But I put the ceramics in there from Backyard, and wow, what a difference! That really, really took the resistance out of the tranny. So I would suggest even going with potentially just a stock Traxxas bearing may spin a little smoother than the bearings that come in the Drag Race Concepts trannies if you buy the whole pack kit. You got to take it apart and throw your diff in anyways. So I'm hoping they come out with the motor plates alone for the mid motor and rear motor So that way you can buy the motor plate and just swap. Like if I wanted to take this, so I only had one rig and I wanted to take this and turn it to or my tarp, because it can go rear motor. If I wanted to turn to a rear motor, instead of buying the whole tranny system, I'd be able to buy just this rear motor tranny plate, swap my tranny around, put my motor plate on it, and be good to go. So hopefully that's something they come out with. I did buy a couple of the 4mm transmission spacers just in case I want to try to get more chassis drop. Yeah, I almost bought one. I've been on an RC till last year, and this COVID crap really basically stuck me at home. So my neighbor did a crawler, and we were into crawlers 10 years ago, and Bajas and a few other RCs we had. Traxxas Z-Max or T-Max and a couple others. But yeah, so I was out for a while and then got back in and started happening upon this no prep stuff late summer. And went, ooh, I could see some trouble coming in the future. And here it is in the future, and I've got trouble. I got 3 of these damn things. 4 if you get the scale builder I'm into. Getting close to being done. Okay, that should be getting at least somewhat warm. Drink. Unwrap. Peel that up out of the way anyways, I think. Got nothing. We have nothing. I guess I do have it turned all the way down. Turn it up to 1 and see what happens. I thought it would still get warm all the way down. Nothing, not even. Got it on 1 right now. It's starting to warm up. It's gonna take a bit more. It's a nice new tip. I should actually be able to slide that across it without any schmutz. All right, but yeah, I think that these 2 things will actually, when they're, those 2 bends look right. Close. They might be able to flatten out a little bit. It might be bent just a smidge too much. I'm trying to take a peek here. That picture again. Let's do a Google search for body. And then we'll go to images and I'll take a peek. Ah, yeah, we're getting some better pics here. A little bit better. It's off a fake book. Oh, there's a nice, I think that, is that, I don't know if that's is or not, but a new tab. It's a nice up or down look. Oh, okay, it's undercover drag wings for their extreme wing splitter. That's a little different. That one's going up quite a bit farther up into here. RC Divas. I'm getting into a bunch of different pics. Watch that video of that guy cutting. I like the way this guy did his splitter up front. That's the undercover too. I'll do something similar myself. Oh, there's my boxing. Now, it looks like these other couple pics that are over on Facebook. A picture over at Larry's. That's about the last other good pick here. Let's see what I can maybe get here. Okay, it's just actually their flyer pick, which is, so there's a better pick though. A back pick. Yeah, those are real straight on the sides. Perfect. That helps. So yeah, these got to be flattened here. I need to get these more squared, straight up and down. And then these set almost flat. There's just a real slight curve to them, so I'll have to flatten that out just a small. Yeah, flatten that out just a smidge, because that's just a little too much angled outward, I think. So I have to undo that a little bit. This one I might be able to just push flatter. It's only got to be flattened just a smidge. I don't want to crease anything. It's already creased. I just want to take some of that mend out of that piece. I may need to heat it up a smidge to get her to comport. Yeah, I will need to heat her up some to get her to flatten out better. Almost looks like it went more. Let's see, do I got heat? Not enough. I think dropped one day. Oh no, there's heat coming in. I cranked her up to 3 and we'll let her get warm. She's warming up now. All right, so yeah, flatten those off a bit. I think I'll go ahead and pop it off to do this. These away so I don't knock them off and lose them. These over here. That thing warm up. No, this is the red shift. The Chuckworks RC red shift. I'll go ahead and pop the body off. Spin it around and take a quick look. I've just pulled the one screw out over here and got to pull this screw out, and then I got 2 M4s in the back here and here. Those 2 are M4s. And I'll probably end up replacing these front body mounts with something more rigid. Probably the Proline square setups. I got another pair of those, and I can always pick up another set of the body mounts, just the post basically. Oh, not lose my darn O-ring again. I got a couple O-rings on each side of these screws to help buffer the body and give it a little cushion. wires out of thread. Okay, we'll set this aside for a minute. Bent over a little bit. So yeah, it's just I get the undercovered, or I'm sorry, Dry Erase Concepts extended rear end on this. And I just took 2 posts and come straight off the back, and M4s in there, and in the front I just got 3, but I'm only using 2. This one's just a centering nub, sits right in the front of the nose. And then these 2, I got the nubs off and drilled holes in them, and I can just put an M3 screw in. Like I say, I'm gonna get some, probably the square ones. There's a couple holes here. I'll be able to get a better mount on it, get it more solid in place. And I may still thinking about maybe moving them, shift them in 1 more movement. And I'll have to add another hole here to lock these into place once they're done. But that's how I mount it. It's actually a pretty smooth little setup on mounting. That was the red ship. The tarp's gonna get the backyard RC Vega body. There's the tarp setup. I'm gonna probably do almost the same thing I'm mounting, almost the same thing I did on the 13.5 truck. So hopefully, where did my little screw go here? Oh, it's on the body? Yeah. Still up on the front of the body. Yeah, these holes here I got a little bit too big with that darn rainer. Just a smidge. I may actually try to find some N3 servo throughs, little brass punch throughs. Thank you. Appreciate it, Eric. Kind of anal in that way, like building them up the way they should be built. Daddy said, if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. Now, actually, what he said is, you can pay to have it done right the first time, or you can pay to have it done right the second, third, fourth, and 5th time. And how true that is. All right. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, yeah, we got a little bit of heat here. Not a lot, but some. Just a little bit of heat and a little bit of bend. That's pretty close. This one corner a little bit more, I think. There, that's. See if I can see it there. There you can get a better look how much straighter it is compared to this side, which is still kind of flaring out a tad. See how much that's flaring out compared to this side now. Let's get those straight, a little bit straighter. Right, I think that's got that one almost too straight. That's all right. That little bit won't be a batter. So that's a lot more squared up there. And this side too. So I think I might actually touch this side just a smidge more. And then get it just a little bit more squared up than like the other side. This side up here needs a little bit more work. Okay. Let's stick it there. That's much better. It's still a little bit more. I see it folded there a little bit. That's okay. Fix that right here by getting this on the top. There we go. All right. Now, take out a little bit of this fold on each side until they're a little more, oops, wrong side, a little bit more up and down. That one's not bad, but it still needs to come down a bit. A little better. Still needs to be a little flatter. Almost there. Looks like we can use it all the way. Well, burning the hell out of myself. It's easier to look like this. Just using the soldering gun to heat this bend and then flatten it out a bit. Just a smidge. Try to flatten it out just a smidge. Yeah. The finicky details. That sets a bit better. I think I can start with that there on that one. This one needs a little bit more. Yeah, that's where the devil's at, is in the details. Kind of like everything that's been going on here lately. Gotta wonder what that verdict would have been had the jury been sequestered from the beginning. Kind of surprising. Even the Rodney King jury was sequestered. Going to be some interesting appeals on that one. Okay, probably setting there. Still a bit bent. So yeah, we're gonna see how crazy it's gonna get. Obviously, it didn't get quite as loony as it could have, but I'm hearing it got kind of nutty last night. So we shall see. And when you got a sitting congressperson, as I have always usually called them, Congress critters, you got a sitting Congress critter saying that a trial should end in a specific result, regardless of any of the evidence, or people need to get more confrontational and cause more problems. That's never a good sign for a jury. Never a good sign for a jury. And that's unfortunately what we're dealing with. So let's take a peek here. If that's sitting about there, and that'll be sitting about there. This one's still a little too bent. So yeah, let's hope things don't get too much more froggy now in, what is it, Cincinnati or whatever it was. But we'll see. But of course, if I really started espousing my real concepts, I'd probably make a lot of people confused on both sides of the political aisle. Let it moved a little bit. Flatten this side out just a smidge, just a little bit too much there yet. Let's see what we get. Later on, man. Have a good one. I'll probably be done here in a little bit. Gotta get some lunch myself. That still needs to be flatter. That's better. I think we can deal with that. Much better. Okay. So peel that up out of the way. Okay, that will go there. Put some nuts on the back of those to hold it in place. Okay. They're not in the same place. I like that one. Let me match those two up. Come on now. Screwdriver. Okay. Now let's see. If I did that, that makes it even on both sides. Setting right. Looks like it. Setting right. So I'll set it in the right spot. Okay. In a slightly different position here. Hold her in place. Now, this spot. Stop there. What's going on, kiddo?
Nothing.
Yep. Doing a vid. Doing a vid and making my body because it helps, I guess, if I'm over here where they can see the camera because I was kind of back a little ways. Just setting these things up, putting the holes in, getting everything lined up on this side. To get that mounted in place. These are little finicky things because you want them in the right spot. You don't want a bunch of holes all over your body. Yeah, I'm going to be correct. You don't want a bunch of more holes than you need all over your body. Okay. That looks pretty good. There. So that's there. This spot. That's all there. That does seem to be, or maybe not too big, but it does seem to be bigger than that. Let's see. Maybe it's about right. That's pretty good. Okay. Hopefully this is a nice position. Get a better spot here. It's hard to do these things from over top of that desk area just because positioning. Okay. I think that's going to look darn straight. And by straight, I mean squared and straight as well as good. Back where you want to. Placement looks pretty darn good. Just about the same on each side. The enemy are the same. Looks like this side might be a little bit closer. I could possibly drop this side just a little bit. Get it to push down a smidge, and I think it'll be all right. So let me try to just an RCH. Always do just a little more. Pull movement to this side too. Just allow me to adjust that wing a smidge. What's wrong? I think we got her. And go ahead and loosen up the smidge and peel that piece out. Get rid of it. Yeah, so everything's got to be washed before I put it together. Get all the edges scraped and cleaned up a little bit. And then that there, we'll go trace. Nice, I got plenty of screws left to do my front splitter area that I want to do. Mm. Three more nuts. Loose. Loose. But you kind of there in this. Loose enough. And that is the aggressive wing from Shark RC. This one's, I don't know, I'm presuming this is the aggressive wing strictly for the Scarecrow. I think they might have different ones for the different bodies because of the different body lines potentially. It could be the same, you just got to kind of mold them a little bit to fit. But if I had to guess, they're probably all somewhat model specific. Kind of like the other undercover wings was I've seen. And just like that. Pretty solid. Still got to take a few things off. That's right. Oh, monsters. Body monsters. Okay, clean up this stuff a bit. Here. Sweetheart's going back over there. We can sit here for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, looks like 7 screws. That should be enough to do a front splitter. 8 screws, more than enough to do a front splitter. Okay. And I'm just going to set this on here because I have to do some more tweaking. Basically sets about like that. And there we go. I'm going to take about 40 seconds. Meow. Meow, meow. Okay. And yeah, what the hell, I'll throw these screws in. I'll put it back on so it's tight. That way I can hang it up on the wall and make it out of the way. Damn, I hate that. I'm doing something and just drop it. Now, there all the way yet. Back in place. That's all right. You gotta come back up, but it may as well get them nice and snug for now. Thanks, sir. She is getting there. Make a little tweak here on each side, though, before I get her permanent mounted here. Fronts. Get over here a little bit. Pretty easy. All you gotta do is just line your hole up with your spot. I'm not completely done trimming the body. I believe I have the front and the sides all the way back to the front of the back wheel wells in place. I still need to do the rear of the back wheel wells and clean up the wheel wells. And I still need to come up with a slight way to add some wheelie bar adjustment. So I do need to get that. Hard to see here because we're at such an angle, but I could probably go like this. Although I might not be able to get her over there. Let's see. Over here a little bit. Something like that. Now she's setting up on this glass plate. So what I can do here, take that off. Do this again. Roll her off like that. Let her set. This side always does stick up a little bit more here. I have to double check my shocking here. You can see there's, not much. It's my pinky and it's not that thick. Quarter inch, give or take. Of course, she'll settle down. The sides are actually hitting now on the back side a little bit. Right there, the sides are actually hitting, so there's still a little gap. So I still got to trim the sides a bit and then do the back. But she is getting there. A few more tweaks and she'll be good to go. File. All right, man. I think I'm gonna kill that at $1.40. Far enough into it for me. A little more tweaking. Wheel wells. I haven't measured it with the body and everything on it. Actually, I was just over like 2,200 grams, I think, when I originally checked it. Can I get those things on here? Well, yeah, I can get these on here probably good enough. I can check it though. Let's see, left, right. Would be something good to actually kind of know what she's actually weighing at right here, I guess. Well, it's left, right, left rear, left front. kind of centered in a bit. Almost too short for this thing. Right front in place. Make sure they're kind of decently set and setting flat on there, and gonna do well to where they're at. Turn them on. Start up the app. Oh, wrong one. Come on. Get the gears app. Bring it in here and let it go. Yeah, okay. Grab the scales. There we go. Left front, left rear, right front. Don't want to delete you. Enter. Bam. Okay. We're settled there a little bit. 2349, 2350. This is gonna. Sometimes this camera just don't like trying to refocus on anything. See if we can get it to redo it here that way. There it is a little bit. As soon as you back out. But yeah, it's just showing 2349, 2350. So a little heavier, not too bad. Once what is it, 2060, 2260? I can't quite remember what the minimum weight is. I think it was 2060, so I'm about 200 grams heavy, give or take a smidge, without paint yet. So I'm gonna throw some paint in there too. But yeah, she basically settled 2349, 2350. Not too bad balance. I'm 33 up front, 67 in back, 50-50 side to side. I'm actually within a gram, 1.4 grams side to side right here. It's 1173 left and 1175 right. 1173.7, 1173.8, 1175.3. 780 front, 1568 in back. And then this is nice. I love this part. You slide this thing down here, and you got another thing down here for your cross weights. So my right front left rear is 1227.3, 1227.3, and my left front right rear is 1121.8. So I'm 106 grams different in my corner balancing, which is really kind of nice. 28 grams in an ounce. So let me figure that out. Just a little over 5 pounds total. So we got 28 grams. So we got what, 2250 divided by 28 is 80 ounces. Divided by 16 to a pound, 5.02 pounds. So just a smidge over 5 pounds, probably be close to 5.1 when the paint's on there. So yeah, not too bad. Just a smidge. I think 4.5 or 4.73, whatever it is like the minimum. So yeah, she's not too bad. That isn't too bad at all. But I love this corner because the other system that I seen, the old wire corner scale system, doesn't appear to have the corner ratio. unless you can push one of the buttons and it will bring it up on one of the other feeds, because it only gives you the front to back biasing and side to side biasing. But this actually gives you the corner to corner biasing as well on this Bluetooth system. So I'm really liking this setup. But yes, that ain't too bad. Like I said, I'm thinking, you know, a little bit over 5.25 pounds, give or take, once she's flat. And that's got the battery in it. The only thing that's not on it per se as far as running is the VTS SkyRC Bluetooth setup. So you got the SkyRC corner weight system with your wires. This is the Bluetooth, the new one. I actually ordered it from RC Mart. I was looking for one about a month and a half ago. The corner scale, I was trying to find the best prices and everything. And this one popped up in my Amazon, or not Amazon, in my Google search. And it was over at RC Mart. So I went and took a look at it. It's basically the new version of the corner, you know, SkyRC corner system, but it's Bluetooth on your phone now, which is sweet. And how you shut it off is you just shut your app down. I don't know if you can, probably not from that side. Close the calculator. Yeah, you can't. You see they're blinking. The lights are blinking now, and that says it, you know, it's not paired, so it's not finding it. And I've got it set up. You can set your time off. So when you shut your app down, 1 to 5 minutes, they'll shut off. I got them set for 1 minute, so at 1 minute they shut off. But yeah, they're just the SkyRC setup, but the new Bluetooth. They're pretty nice. $119. The wired units I was looking at, I found them as inexpensive as $99 or maybe $95. I think it was $99 at RC Mart out of China. There's no shipping on that. That was free shipping. That was one of their specials at the time, so there is shipping. I just got it at a time when it was free shipping. It was a new product, I believe. Probably still is. But it was $119 shipped. I had it in about 14 days. So yeah, it came fairly quickly considering it had to come up out of China. I'm thinking a lot of this stuff is being flown over. And I'm saying that because I ordered a few things. Like I said, this thing was here in 14 days. I really couldn't see how fast it got here. Other stuff I've been ordering off eBay and stuff's coming off of China. Like I ordered, what was it the other day? Something. Oh, my skid plate off an eBay seller, and it come out of China for the scale build. And yeah, and they're shut off now. And that thing shipped out on the 19th, and it landed yesterday. So it, you know, left China and then hit the States in 24 hours basically. Now it's already in customs and getting ready to go clear through customs. So that's the right wrist. Left wrist. Put them in the wrong spot. Not that it matters. You got them all labeled to put them in where they belong. But I'm anal. Ask my old lady, she'll tell you I'm one of the most anal people she knows. Reminder of her daddy. Okay. But yeah, it's a really nice setup, you know, and I was figuring if I'm going to spend $99, a US seller was going to cost me $8 shipping, and then taxes out of the US seller, I'm already at the 120 bucks. So I said, well, piss on it. I'm going to buy it from RC Mart, get free shipping, pay no Michigan sales tax, and get the newest system. So yeah, I like it. It's a nice little setup. And here's where I'm at so far. I've got a skid plate in there. It's a Traxxas skid plate. These are Traxxas rails, but I'm going to go over to an SEX102 because it's got the bolt pattern on the skid plate to mount the tranny. And that will hopefully give me a little bit better, and I'll be able to get the tranny setting up and a little bit squarer in this because I want it, you know, kind of squared out. Then I'm still waiting on my front shock tower because once I got that, then I can lock that into place and get this front end buttoned into place and set a little bit more square. But this is going to be I think, a fun little build. A fun little, rig when it's done. Setting at 5:1 drive ratio without pinion and spur. So depending on what I do for pinion and spur swap, I may actually end up being able to get into a somewhere around a 7 or 8:1 final drive ratio from the motor to the wheel. So yeah, that won't be too bad. I wanted to do a scale one. I mean, I know the no prep stuff is all, short course based, but I started it out actually as setting up for a leaf spring. I've got some RC 4-wheel drive super scale lease, but getting the lease set up into place, getting it straight, being able to lock your axle square so it's not dog tracking on you is a real pain on the lease. So I went ahead, I had the SSD links from my Trail King. I took one of my Trail King builds, I got two of them. I took the one Trail King build and I'm converting it over to leaf springs just like a 1976 Blazer would be, and using the RC 4-wheel drive Blazer body on that one and building it up like my dad's 1976 real Blazer that he had before he passed away in '80. So I had a bunch of pieces and links and stuff. I thought, okay, I'm gonna throw this together. I put the cantilever shocks on it so I can drop the shock tower down and leave the shock towers out of the way. Although most bodies gives plenty of room, shouldn't be too bad with the cantilevers. Dip this down a little bit more. I'm getting some, I got just a Traxxas one here. I got a couple atomic steering blocks, caster blocks coming. And then I'm just going to use stock up front. So basically, this is just a Bandit from this front gray stuff. Bandit SSD shocks out of my one kit. I did that one different. But pretty much it's the full Bandit front end, Traxxas rails, the cantilever shock system with SSD shocks instead of the shocks that came with it. SSD rear axle. I was going to take an offset front axle setup and shorten it because one side stubby is made for an offset pumpkin, and I was going to mirror the long axle to mimic the short so I could run the Traxxas funny car wheels. This axle is thin enough right now that I can put the funny car wheels on it with the 14mm adapters, which kicks it out another millimeter or so on each side, and still have the wheels up underneath the body. I'm going to run the F100, 1956 F100 body on this, which is a straight racing body. You can use it as a drag, but I'm going to theme that out specifically, and I think people are going to really, really think, oh, that's kind of wild, kind of a different mishmash of things, but this one is done. So I went ahead and went with the drag links. I want to keep that ass on there. I want this actually to be a competitive and not just look decent, but be an actual competitive runner. So I'm hoping with some adjustment ability where I can shift the front end to get the shift kind of square so it tracks straight, and then having the links in place with the rear end, everything there will be squared out. So I should be able to have the tracking much square possibility out of this. But yeah, this is a fun little throw together that I always thought it'd be fun. And then once, I got a few more pieces of this, I picked up a Axial UMG 6x6 roller, almost RTR. I was going to get the stock motor and ESC with it, but the guy didn't bring it. No big deal. But that's going to actually be not a crawler. I'm going to turn that into a no prep accessory, and no, not a tow rig. Kind of a tow rig, but not a tow truck. So I should really figure out I'm going to build a car hauler out of it. That's what I'm going to do. So, all right, man, I'm going to kick it. Been a couple hours almost here, 1:59. I need to get some food. It's been a morning. Thanks for hanging out, Eric. Anybody else that catches on and was here, appreciate you hanging around. hit that like, share, and subscribe if you would, and I'll try to do the everybody's channels together. All right, man. Have a good one. Later, folks.